We are back on Trevor in today's video, and we're going to get to the point where the chassis is going to get fully stripped down to literally just the bare chassis, so it's ready to be loaded onto the transporter and taken up to Sheffield to RT Racing. They're going to strip it back down to the bare metal. They're going to repair anything that needs repairing. So obviously you've definitely got that chassis corner there and any other spots that show up when they strip it back to the bare metal. And I believe they're going to then coat it in zinc and then re-powder coat it. There's probably more to it than that, but that's all I can remember off the top of my head. So yeah, all this is coming off. I mean, I've just popped to Halfords to buy a socket to get the rear hubs off because that was a problem I had last time. And if I'm completely honest, I guessed at what size it is, so I really hope that's the right size, or that's going to really mess up today's video. So yeah, should be fairly straightforward. Now, just a quick one on the RS6. Hopefully the people that are watching the Trevor video are also watching the RS6 progress. I said in the last video that I wasn't sure whether I was going to fix it or not, and I have decided to fix it. So I will be taking the engine out, I will be doing the turbos, so there will be more videos to come on the RS6. However, I am going to postpone it for a while, purely because I've got that BMW sat out there that I've been telling you about for months now, and if I'm honest, it's a lot newer, the BMW, and therefore it's depreciating, whereas the RS6 isn't depreciating, so I'd rather not have a depreciating asset just sat there broken when the RS6 can sit there broken and not depreciate, if that makes sense. So the RS6 will go on the back burner until the BMW is done. So it won't be long, hopefully. So yeah, I suppose I'm going to start by taking this wheel off and seeing if my socket is the right size. That's tight. Whew. Not sure. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, so not an ideal start. It looks like the thread has stripped on that nut and it's just turning inside itself. So yeah, worst possible start. So what I'm going to now do is I'm just going to try and undo the rest of the suspension bolts. So if I undo these top two here, the bottom ones, I'm going to try and do all these. If anything, like the first one I could be in for a fun day, but if I can then just drag all that off in one, just to separate the chassis, which is what the aim of today's video is, then I can, you know, basically deal with that at a later date is what I'm trying to get to. This would be great for deadlifts. Oh. And that is where you'll need Athletic Greens to keep you fit and healthy. Athletic Greens is a comprehensive all-in-one greens powder engineered to fill the nutritional gaps in your diet and support your body's nutritional needs across 4 pillars of health. And that is gut health, immune support, energy and recovery. And by using my link in the description, you'll get 5 free travel packs and a year's supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 with your first purchase. AG1 is packed full of vitamins and minerals, 75 to be precise, and along with whole food sourced superfoods, probiotics and adaptogens in one convenient daily serving. AG1 supports your energy, focus, gut health, digestion and immune system without the need to take multiple products or pills. Now yes, I was a bit concerned about the colour of it as well, but weirdly it smells and tastes just like sweets. So as I said, guys, click the link in my description, and with your first purchase, you'll get a year's free supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs. Massive thanks to Athletic Greens for sponsoring today's video. Right, it's getting a bit messy again, but we are making progress. Now, that is the rear end fully stripped down, apart from I just need to pull the handbrake cable out. I've already detached it from the near side here. I've just got to strip this offside hub and disconnect the handbrake, and then yeah, I've just got to pull it out the middle because it's got this little bracket here which can't go through that hole or that hole, so it's got to be pulled out the middle like that. So yeah, on this side I had to take the caliper off, take the disc off so I could disconnect the handbrake cable and pull it out. Interestingly though, this drive shaft here came out absolutely no problems whatsoever. The nut was tight, but it was like a normal drive shaft nut, come off absolutely fine. So yeah, on this one, the thread has obviously just stripped inside the nut, I'm guessing. So I'm not sure how I'm going to get that off at the moment, but yeah, for now it's stuck in there. So yeah, actually, surprisingly, all the bolts came undone fairly easily. Obviously coated them WD-40, so that helped, but the bolts are fairly clean. So I'll just get one here, for example. Look, apart from just like the end, which is just a little bit of rust on, the bolts are all like this. They're all just, yeah, pretty good condition. So I was quite surprised. The only issue I had was, yeah, that drive shaft nut there. So rear end of the chassis done. Let's move our attention on to the front. So it's going to be a little bit more involved this side because we've just got a few more bits. We've got the oil tank here. We've got a steering rack, anti-roll bar as well, and then there's just a few more pipes. And is that a coolant pump? I'm not sure if that's a pump or not. It's something, it might be a pump. So we've got to remove that as well. So, yeah. Yeah, so I may have forgotten to hit play on the record of that last bit of time lapse, but yeah, the hub's all off, as you can see. Again, bolts come off really easy, apart from the brake pipe here. That union actually snapped where it joins to the chassis. I mean, we'll be replacing it anyway, so it's not a big deal. Just made it a little bit easy to come off. Even the anti-roll bar come off absolutely fine. So yeah, so here's the hub. Down this side, I might have problems getting this ball joint off here, but I mean, even the steering arm ball joint, that came off okay, so might be all right. So yeah, I've got to strip them down at a later date, but yeah, we'll carry on with the chassis, and I'll do the same to this side. I'll remember to hit play on the time lapse, and then I think we've just got to remove the steering rack and cable ties for the brake lines that went into the tub there. Yeah, remove the brake lines. And yeah, I think we're pretty much there. Right, it is now fully, completely stripped. I'm just going to clean up all this mess, get everything in order, and I'll show you. I've found a little bit more damage. Right, so I can finally now say I am halfway through the chassis part of the rebuild. I am fully aware we still have the actual shell and the interior to finish off, but hopefully that shouldn't be too bad. But as far as like the rebuild goes, we are well underway and 50% through the chassis rebuild. Now, so I'm just going to talk you over, oh, hello. So I'm just going to talk you through
something else that I found on the chassis, now that I've taken everything off, it has obviously revealed more damage.
So anyone who has a TVR that maybe thinks that chassis needs repairing, this is a reason why you should really check everything, because I found more damage on the near side, or sorry, the offside front here. And as you can see, look, where the suspension wishbone's mounted, there is a massive hole here, which means that this bolt here is completely weak. And also at the bottom here, look, there's another hole here. And if we just go around, on the same side as this, at the bottom, there's another hole, and it's actually rusted completely through there. And there's it's all under the paint. That's how I found it, because look, the paint was like this, so you couldn't see it. And then you pull out the rust, and it reveals, there you go, look, another hole. Hole here. So it's completely hidden under the paint. Now, that means that this effectively offside front corner here was really, really weak. And going in too hard into a corner may have just completely snapped it off, who knows. But there's a lot of weak spots on this offside front. So very important that you basically fully strip it down and address the issues, because whereas looking at the car I thought we had a suspension a problem here, turns out there's actually a lot more serious problems on the front. And is it actually a bit bent? No, I think it's all right actually. So yeah, just goes to show that you fully need, I mean, it's nearly gone through here as well. I reckon if I pushed a little bit harder, it could go through a bit down the bottom there as well. So yeah, more problems found, actually more serious issues. And because they're only weld-on bits, I think they can be replaced fairly simple. So yeah, chassis completely stripped, ready to go. It's quite daunting now looking at all these parts. Look. Yeah, quite daunting knowing that I've got to somehow remember where all this goes and put it back together. I do need to sort out this drive shaft. I don't know how I'm going to detach that yet. And also I think I've got to strip down the hubs as well, but I'm just going to speak to RT Racing because I don't know what state they want this in. I don't know if they want all the hubs as well, and well, I don't know. I need to speak to them before I strip any further, just to work out in what state they want it. So yeah, this is it. We're halfway.
And we are stripped down. So that is going to be it for the TVR for a while. I don't know how long, because obviously now I need to load the chassis up onto the trailer. I need to take it up to Sheffield. They're going to have it for I don't know how long. They also need to do the wishbones as well. I need to get bush kits. I need to get loads of parts now. So there won't be a video on the TVR for a while, and that then will give me a chance to do the RS6 and the BMW I've got out there as well. But when the TVR next comes back, the chassis will be done, we'll have all new parts, and we can start putting it back together. So that is it for today's video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. Please do like and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, we're halfway there.